Okay.
Oh, to the chagrin of Clyde, we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 402 of the Comedy Workshop. We have quite the menagerie of comedians here to entertain you. Some of them on just the right angle, some of them with just the right lighting, some of them with just the right background. This is, I think I mentioned, episode 402. Here's the format if you haven't been here before. We've all been assigned a word or term. We have been given a week to write some stuff about that. We have all spent the last 10 minutes scrambling to write stuff about the word that we were given, or term, as the case may be. So we're gonna do a round of that, but like after everyone speaks, we're gonna try and help each other out, aren't we? This is a brotherhood apparently tonight. So, you know, the fraternity says we're going to try and help each other work on that material. And then when that's done, that first round, we are across the universe going to share material that we're dying to work on, stuff that is going to burn in our hearts. And as the pandemic lifts, it's going to be used on stage sometime very, very soon in an area that you might be frequenting. Okay. Hello, Mighty Comics. We already have a comment in from Jim Music. That's amazing. So we're going to do this in clockwise order. I am also obligated to say that, hey, these are all first drafts that we're working on here tonight. And if something offends, that was never our intention. And trust me, one day when we get this stuff to the stage, it'll be absolute gold. So thanks for putting up with anything that may offend you. So I am the bloody idiot who has to start things out tonight. And I'll tell you this, my word, it wasn't really a word. It was a complication in my life over the last week, was a dialect. So like I had grand plans. I was like, I'm going to create a dialect and I'm going to make my fellow comedians learn it before I put them on stage. And I'm like, that's a bit wordy. That's a tedious, that's the kind of thing like you think at 11 o'clock at night and you wake up at 6 and you realize you're never ever going to do that. I did one time in my life. I was quite young at the time, but I was an adult by like the technical standards. I did try and create my own dialect. It was based around a very simple principle. All inanimate objects were badgers, and all people were badger lovers. So, like, you know, someone would say, "Have you seen John recently?" And you know, I have not seen that badger lover in quite some time. You know, I don't know. In my head, it sounded a lot better. There was actually a time that I did that, and I'm sure I had more examples of it, but I might just be on the wrong page of the old book. But you can't. Here's the thing about dialects, you know, like it's not an accent. It's an offshoot, right? And like, there's no way, like, have you ever had like a group of friends you can't exist, you can't have a group of friends without developing your own words for things, right? And I've got to be honest with you, I have no idea where that's going. So no pressure on the rest of our comedians tonight, but I had a couple of ideas that I jotted down exactly 12 minutes ago, and they went nowhere. But anyways, the feedback on that, I feel like dialect was the toughest word I've ever been given on this. Like, what do you do with that?
I would have to look up the definition first. Did you do that? What the hell?
Well, I know what a dialect is. Like, you know, now the good stuff might come out. You know, like it's if you go to different areas of China, they would speak different dialects of Mandarin.
Different versions of a language.
Yeah,
slightly different words and have maybe is an accent included in a dialect.
Yeah, I suppose it is too. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you do any accents?
I do tons of accents. I have to rate them on whether they might be offensive or not.
I love them more when they're offensive. Those are the best ones.
Are you telling me you'd pay $20 to go to a comedy club and hear me try to do a Pakistani accent for
If it's
45
funny.
minutes?
If it's funny.
If there
for
was
45
jokes
minutes.
behind it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So long as it was done in love, my friend.
John's right in. I'm scared shitless. I'm trying to do one, but
I have a joke that I've been told is offensive to 2 separate groups of people.
Excellent.
So I love it. I think it's hilarious. So like I said, if you do it, if it's funny, if it's not funny, as long as it makes sense and goes with something else, I'm down. I'm down.
And we are reminding the audience at this time that we are just trying things out here, right? Do we get to hear that joke tonight, Clyde, or can you?
I
work
tell you
that
what,
because I would like. Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I'll do it in the next round. I'll make sure I do it.
Cool. Well, thank you for the feedback on the nothing that I absolutely provided you. EJ has handed whatever, child that he's stolen back to the main handler as he sits in front of a green screen. Not quite sure what's going on there. I feel that at some point we may be asked to testify in a trial. Like, what
it's all on camera.
AJ was doing when he walked off camera and pushed a child as he was walking off camera. Let's all get our stories straight, right? Speaking of straight, it rhymes with John Tate. Let's have our next comedian. Drum roll, please, if you don't mind. Ladies and gentlemen, for your listening pleasure and viewing pleasure, John Tate.
Woo!
Yay for me. I was actually given I was given 2 words: life tests. TESTS, because I've got a bit of a lisp. And I decided to Google life tests before, to get ideas or a roadmap for how to structure this. But all I got were a bunch of memes written by people who were obviously first-year philosophy students that had doubled up on their microdosing and were teetering between nirvana and killing themselves. Which, since we only get one life and there's no mulligans, would technically be the same thing. So I decided to play to my strengths of being an egocentric sociopath, and talk to my own life tests or lessons, for lack of a better word. Because when I was younger, I remember a friend saying life is a resting place. Life is a testing place, not a resting place. And I remember telling him that I was going to quote him one day on a Zoom comedy workshop through my webcam, since I'll have strong internet. And I didn't care that he looked at me strange because it was 1989. But a good life test, if you're thinking about it, and a hard learning experience, is discovering what you don't want in a relationship. Because I was married and divorced twice before the age of 30. And now I do comedy, so good decisions. The first time, though, it was because we were young and in love, and she was pregnant. And the second time, the second marriage, have you ever sobered up after a year to discover that you married an escort that you used to party with? I wish that wasn't a joke. But the first one was a bit of a hippie, and with her I discovered that trail mix is really just little pieces of chocolate surrounded by completely unnecessary ingredients. And the second one, although she claimed to be an escort, I discovered she was more of a whore. And this is a great life lesson, and I'm sharing it with you now. There is a difference between an escort and a whore. And the difference is an escort is honest about her intentions and how much she'll cost and how long she'll be around. A whore will cost you a job or two, your friends, your family's respect, and a settlement of around $250,000. And she was a test in resilience, which I obviously passed because I'm not currently using jailhouse Wi-Fi. Another life test is the infamous drug test. And what a waste of time. I don't need a test to tell me that they work. Trust me, they work. Like in my late teens, I discovered drugs cost money. And the amount of money I have spent on drugs from 1988 to 2018, over those 30 years, they would have bought me a nice house or a couple of condos. Like, because of drugs, I am a walking 501k. I am a retirement plan. Like, I drank and snorted and smoked enough that I am technically retired. Well, I guess my dick is, because I kind of need drugs nowadays to actually get that up. My bills don't think I'm retired, though, so I kind of have to trick my body into getting up in the morning. Another life test I discovered is like putting up with people who think that they're special. Like, because like me, you, everyone you know, everyone they know aren't special. Just because someone's dad didn't pull out one night doesn't make any of us any more special than any other creature that has sex to reproduce. Because really, a pig has a more developed cerebral cortex than a human being. The only reason why we're the top of the food chain is because a pig doesn't have opposable thumbs. And I guess to wrap this up, because we only have a few minutes, a final life test is having the patience to put up with an extremely charming, handsome, and delusional person, such as myself.
Well, hey, okay. Fantastic, John. I've just realized I've done a really bad job of framing you. I should have pressed the button that made you the star of it. Does anybody mind if I go first with the comments? I'll try and get rid of the banner as I work.
Dan, my mother will tell you two things about me. One, I don't listen. Two, I don't mind. By all means, please go ahead.
I felt like there needed to be more of a jump off. It was quite a common joke between the first wife and the second one. I felt like there needed to be more of a jump off between those two relationships. You know what I mean? And I don't think, like, if you were to take that on stage these days, I don't think you could get away with calling an ex-wife a whore. I don't think there's a comedy club in the, unless there's a really great joke behind it, and you've got the entire audience agreeing with you. I don't know.
That joke I keep to blue collar venues. I won't say that joke in Victoria, for example.
Right, yeah. Anyways, anybody else with something to say?
I do want to say that when you said she was more of a whore, I enjoyed that so much. I really did. She was less of an escort. She was more of a whore. Like that. I felt that in here. I did.
It's 100% true. Everything I just said.
It was dope. But other than that, I don't really have too much else that I could think of to just tell you. I like when people, because I've been married and divorced. So whenever somebody starts talking about exes and stuff, I'm all for that stuff. I'm all for it. So as far as I'm concerned, you can't say enough about an ex-wife in a negative light. Don't spout any praises unless it's like a turn of, it's like, oh yeah, she was great at bringing money in the house. It just was in other men's wallets or something. I don't know, something like that. Like I enjoy things like that.
Completely untaxable.
Yeah. So unless it's like a twist on the positive spin, like I don't want to hear anything positive about your ex. I want to hear all the dirt, all the grime, all the dumpster juice. That's all I want to hear. So thank you for that.
Yeah, there's a lot of funny stuff in there. I love the not needing tests to know drugs work. Yeah, you've been testing them; they work. That's really funny. You have an interesting way of thinking. That I was very intrigued by your your assertion that the only reason pigs aren't higher than us in the food chain is opposable thumbs. I don't know how strongly you actually feel about that, but I'd be curious to hear more if you really think that's it, huh? They just because they can't pick up a knife. That's what's keeping them.
Left their own.
All right.
Communities are full burrows. They take care of each other's children. They are.
Yeah, they're smart. Yeah.
They're incredibly smart, and because of the fact they have a fully developed prefrontal cortex that's larger proportionally than that of a human.
Okay, yeah. You just said they take care of their families. That's really funny. I would love to hear you frame pigs as more.
They're more humane than humans.
Yes, that's interesting. That's interesting and potentially really funny. There's a lot of funny stuff in there, and if it were me, maybe this is just not your style. In which case, you could ignore this comment. I just felt like in a lot of places you could just make the jokes punchier just by making them shorter or going more extreme with them instead of trail mixes. I can't remember how you framed it. Chocolate hidden in unnecessary ingredients. Just I would go like farther with the contrast. Trail mix is just chocolate hidden in trash. Just to really bring down the unnecessary ingredients and describe them in the most negative way possible. Or the whores versus what is it? Wives or girlfriends, like whores list their prices. You could just get to it really fast. But otherwise, yeah, I thought there was a lot of really funny stuff in there.
Nice.
Yeah, and to what he said about the only reason why they're not at the top of the food chain is because they don't have opposable thumbs. I feel like if you add something else with that, like it'll make it stronger. Like, and not necessarily what I'm about to say, but something like, so yeah, the only reason why pigs are not at the top of the food chain is because they don't have opposable thumbs and they don't know how good humans taste. Or
yeah.
You know what's really funny? There's an actual literal translation from Papua New Guinea, from where the cannibals used to, where the people used to actually be cannibals. And there's a literal translation of human meat, and it's called white pig.
There you go.
I'm just going to turn a light in the background.
That reminds me of something I've always liked to say in conversation, like, because you remember that scene in Meet the Fockers where he was talking about the cat and the opposable thumbs, right? And I always like to say in conversation, it separates us, like if I'm like pointing my thumbs at someone saying, what separates from the animals? Disposable thumbs. So, like, if you could lead them into thinking that you're about to say opposable thumbs, you create a whole character where, like, the character is just absurd, and you could have a lot of fun with it. Anyways,
Jesus Christ!
Whoa, what just happened?
Whacked my leg. Oh, son of a bitch!
I thought a pig ran in the room.
Like
a pig with a knife
was on John. What?
There we go. Oh,
it's like, I'll teach you who's in charge.
For half a second, I thought my joke was that good. Anyways, hey, can we move on? Can we keep this choo-choo train of mirth going? Ladies and gentlemen, here to entertain us, tell us his word, his term. It's Clyde Williams, everybody.
Woo.
All righty. Well, get ready for a lot of pig snout right now. I'll tell you that. So, Goyles and Joims, my words, my phrase, Disney movies. Okay. So I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of Disney movies. Disney movies are okay. I don't like them because I don't appreciate how Disney movies, like at Disney, they try to claim that they are so, it's like, they don't have certain levels, certain types of content, certainly, all this sort of stuff in their movies. But, they have no radar movies, but they let one of the most notorious sexual assaulters, ever work on their films. I'm talking about Harvey Weinstein. Like, how does that work? Now, the thing is, besides the hypocrisy of having one, it was two for a moment, because when Disney acquired 20th Century Fox, they got all their movies. So in that they acquired one of the legendary comedy specials, Bill Cosby himself. That is now a Disney comedy special. Can't do anything about that. And so for a minute, so really, when Bill got released, that was a major coup for Disney. You know, it really was. I'm sure Disney was like, "Oh, I hope nobody puts that together." You know, and Bill Cosby, like, I feel like he's just like talking a bunch of smack since he just got out. You know, it's like, you know, they used to call me the Cos, but now, since I'm in the prison, they call me the Oz. You know, but got to come home to my wife. Camille, I told everyone not to sleep on me. I learned how to shake a bitch from prison. I don't have to do it now because I'm about to see about the prison. Don't have to shake anybody. Where's Beyonce? I got some lemonade and a big ego. So, it's just really good. It's just really good that that R. Kelly, that Space Jam was not a Disney film, because R. Kelly would be a part of Disney music and they'd really be in trouble. I mean, that would just be crazy. That's too much. Yeah, I think that's all I got for now. Thank you so much for listening.
Hey,
woo!
You.
That was amazing. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, or just gentlemen as it appears. Who's got thoughts for Clyde? Shall I begin?
Yeah, I'm finishing off a sentence here. So,
okay. Look, I think, given the horrific news that Bill Cosby, and maybe this is controversial, horrific news that Bill Cosby's been let out of jail, I have a feeling that Bill Cosby impressions are going to be on the rise over the next couple of months, possibly 6 to 9 months. And that was really, really good. I liked your impression. So keep working on that. I think there's a market for that. And that's my thoughts. Yeah, EJ.
I was very interested in this fact that Weinstein worked on Disney movies. Harvey Weinstein. I didn't realize that. That's funny to me, because what's he working on those Disney movies for? Is he trying to sleep with Snow White, or what's going on?
Probably.
I have a bit of kind of going off the Weinstein with Disney as well. And that's the fact that Disney, here it is lauded for being all-inclusive, yet everybody likes to forget the fact that Walt Disney himself was a Hitler-supporting anti-Semitic. Like, just how funny and talented do you have to be before your past is just kind of more of just a segue type of thing, eh? But I also had R. Kelly music being part of Disney would be nothing new, since Disney's been pissing on kids' intelligence for years.
Oh, I like it. I like it. I like it. Yeah. You have to mention the pissing when you mention R. Kelly. There's no two ways around that.
And he's not even in prison for that. Like, he's not even in prison for that, which is crazy.
What is he in prison for?
I don't actually know. I don't know.
He had a cult, and he wasn't allowing people to leave.
All I know is he had a show. Like, he had a show. The show was like about him, but I feel like if any show is about you, it's your show. So he had a show, and then he had to go to prison. I don't know how that worked, but that's what happened. I'm writing notes for what you said.
He can sing, but he couldn't dance. If you dance really well, then you'll get away with anything.
Work for Michael.
That's not true.
Work for Michael, work for Chris Brown. You know, if you can dance, if you can move, all is forgiven.
And Bill Cosby could only kind of dance, so that's why it took him so long to get out.
He had that awkward dance. He was known for being an awkward dancer. He was flaunting his power.
All I can say is just the beginning of the Cosby Show right now.
I know. But we're not making any ground. We're not making any headway. We're not getting any closer to any jokes. So we're gonna have to turn the mic over.
My shirt looks
next
like
comedian.
my shirt looks like a collared version of a Cosby sweater.
I've got a couple of those Cosby sweaters.
Maybe on OnlyFans you could sell that for $2. I don't know. But anyways, I was doing a massive intro before I was interrupted there about our next comedian, our headliner for the first round. He's come all the way from behind the green screen to entertain us tonight. EJ, give it to us straight. What is your word or term?
Hey, my term is inspirations. Thank you, Clyde. Inspirations. And I'm grateful for how you started us off, Dan, because I also was just scrambling in the last 10 minutes before this. This is going to be real quick. I've got a mix of things, some of which I had already thought of before, and I just realized were related to inspirations. Is that cheating? I don't know. Is that the old stuff and the new stuff are all equally bad? So it didn't really affect anything. So some loose thoughts here. Let's see. I teach. I actually teach at a liberal arts college. Oh, great! I can't see you guys anymore. Now I'm talking to my face. My own face. I teach at a liberal arts college, and I'm grateful that I'm at a place that emphasizes critical thinking. That's our main goal. Liberal arts college, and yeah. And that was that someone, or is that me echoing? Oh, great, this is going real well. I was looking at this military academy that prioritizes leadership and discipline instead, and I'm like, okay, well, that's what Hitler had. You gotta teach people to be good first before you make them capable of doing anything they put their minds to. As a teacher, I have to give a lot of advice to my students. I've been doing that through Zoom lately. I think the hardest part about giving career advice to your students through Zoom is we can both see that their living situation is already way nicer than mine. What I'm giving them career advice. They could see I sleep on a twin. It's never gonna work. I think we're inspiring people in all the wrong ways. Like in school, they teach about MLK and Mother Teresa. Look, we're not going to inspire kids by having them learn about like these seemingly insurmountable challenges overcome by these really extraordinary people. They need to learn about everyday challenges overcome by regular folks. Like, hey, I thought we were learning about MLK today. No, you're never going to be him. Today we're learning about Larry. I actually had a childhood friend. It's actually my brother's childhood friend. I had an older brother. His name was Larry. This friend. He was a huge inspiration to me. Okay, like all throughout my life, still to this day, I think about him because he went to college. He got married. He bought a house. Has beautiful children. He figured it all out. And he's an idiot. This guy, he's got nothing going for him. He's not good looking or particularly smart. Yeah, when the first time my friends and I had to do taxes, they were all freaking out. They're like, I don't know if we can do this. And I'm like, I'm not worried. And Larry figured it out. Songs are very inspirational. Songs are always so emotional. They're always about like life and love and pain and loss. You never hear a hit song about a pretty good sandwich. I'd love to drive down the street and listening to someone's meatball sub. All right, what did I write here? Diverse shows, but still with what? Oh yeah. So one thing I appreciated in like the 90s is they started to diversify shows, but they would still have the white guy be the leader. Like my kids watch this show called Little Einsteins, and there's like an Asian girl, a black boy, and then they've got like one of everything. But then this like the white male is still the leader. This is worse. It's like you're acknowledging, yeah, there's other ones out there, but the white guys are still the best. It's not helping. Movies are very influential. I think a lot of people find inspiration in movies, which I love movies. And it was hard for me growing up here as an Asian American man because I didn't have people who looked like me in movies. Like, it was hard to feel manly. Like, sports heroes never looked like me, not even in the movies. And yet they made 5 Airbuds. Yeah, Hollywood thought it was less plausible that an Asian kid make Varsity than a golden retriever. Cool. All right, that's all I got.
Yeah, very good, EJ. I liked it a lot. I was wondering when you're introducing. Sorry to jump right in.
Please.
If any, like when you said, you teach at a liberal arts college, so I thought right away you could say, I teach at a liberal arts college, so I'm adept at handling temper tantrums. And I feel about turning on your own people. I'm just throwing it out there. Connect the green screen. Like, you've got a green screen. You're a poor teacher. You're dealing with students who have like pools and infinity pools in the background.
Oh my God, that's why the green screen. Yeah,
you've got the green screen, but you can't even afford a package to make it look like you're in school. They're like in Rome for real, and you can't afford the Rome package. So you're stuck with the green screen. I think that was about it.
Cool.
Yeah, cool.
I had a bit of a thing on the liberal arts because you made the little bit of a Hitler comment there, and then I made a comment about I wrote something about the discipline and structure of liberal arts, kind of like being a Nazi, like without all the good Hugo Boss fashion sense.
The Hugo Boss what?
Fashion sense. They were sharp. I hate what they did. Like how they looked. Like they looked fantastic.
EJ, I just deciphered something that I wrote here. I scribbled. I just read my own handwriting and deciphered it. And you were talking about this guy called Larry.
Yeah.
Like married or a cop. You don't have to be smart. Like these are occupations you don't have to be smart to do. I don't know if that makes any sense in context, but sorry to interrupt, John.
I had today we're learning about Larry, and Larry did everything right. Do you know what Larry didn't have? An original thought.
Yeah, something like that.
And then you also wrote down like there's no jokes about sandwiches. And then I wrote down, but Weezer was the master of like writing jokes about whatever the fuck they saw on television. Oh look, there's a sweater. Let's write the sweater song. Oh fuck, look, there's a hash pipe. That's right, hash pipe.
I actually
Beverly Hills. That's fucking right, Beverly Hills. Jesus. Oh.
When I grew up, there used to be a Big Mac song. Surely that's a sandwich song
from the commercial.
Yeah, the Big Macs. It must count as a sandwich because it fulfills the requirement of being a sandwich. You can eat it with your hands.
Anyway. Yeah, obviously there's advertisements with jingles about things.
Something like that. Sorry, Clyde, did you have anything to add to that? Or
so I feel like starting with that line, we're gonna learn about Larry. Like that is so funny to me. Just that line starting it. So I want to know even more about Larry than you told us. So I really feel like, and I don't know if you know what plans you have to use that in your regular stand-up, but I think you absolutely should, because that to me is so funny.
Cool.
Just tell me more about that. I want you to write a sandwich song. Like that's what I want. I wanted to hear a sandwich song by EJ. It doesn't have to necessarily, be the most musical song, but I want lyrics. I want some bars.
Yeah, it'd be cool to mimic just the intensity and the magnitude of what people normally sing about, but then reveal it's about a meatball sub or something.
Do you play music at all, EJ?
I mean, I dabble. Yeah.
Okay, you dabble. So you couldn't. Do you think you could come up with a comedic sandwich song? I don't think it would really take much. Like it wouldn't really take much musical effort. I don't think. Like if you could get a piano and say and just go Ding, 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 ding,
It can
ding.
be a total ham. It doesn't have to be cheesy.
Hey!
To be clear, there's no way I'm bringing in an instrument on stage.
Right. No, yeah. I'm not I'm
But
not
I-
suggesting that by any means.
Not so. I mean, I've seen people do that and be extremely hilarious. I just, I can't. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm not going to tell you to do that. If you find your way to that and it works, bless you. But I'm not going to say, you know what, EJ?
The next time I see you, EJ, you better have a song for us.
And also, I do want to say, so when you were talking about how the plausibility of Airbud making varsity over someone who's Asian, I feel like I would like to hear on what side of that you fall. Like, do you feel that that they're right in assuming that, or if
Oh,
they're
yeah.
wrong? And so like whatever direction you decide to go with that, I want to hear that. I think that that could be, it doesn't have to be long, just a quick something,
Yeah.
there. I think that would be,
Yeah, that's a good angle. Thank you.
and that's all I got for now.
You know, it'd be great, like if you were to shoot your arms out like this and take the green screen on, and then like turn around and like fly out a window with the mountainscape. I don't know, like that's a lot to carry to a club to end a show, right?
Yeah,
Like a green screen,
it is.
the flying, maybe not, but just think about it. Just think about it. Should you ever find yourself in a position
Cool.
where you've got that kind of fuck off budget, Well, ladies and gentlemen, are we done with EJ? Have we given him all the compliments, the hardships, the truth that he needs? Let's get on to our second round for the evening, where we get to work on stuff that has been burning in our hearts, that we want to hone, that we want to test against our fellow comedians. And I get to start, which is quite good fun because I'm not going to give you something new. There's a little thing called the Euros going on at the moment. And on Sunday, Italy are playing England in the Euros finals. Whoever wins that game is the best team in all of Europe, plus England. Because as you may be aware, they left the European Union. Nevertheless, anytime a great international soccer story comes up, it gives me occasion to tell the following tale that I'm about to tell. I lived in England for 10 years. I worked in publishing in the center of London, and I happened to get to know a couple of guys who supported a team called Oxford United. Yeah, you know the name Oxford, you know the name United, but there's a team called Oxford United. They're not in the Premier Division. They're on the top of the league. They're in the bottom divisions. And one time they're like, Dan, you have to come up. You have to come up and see what football's like in front of 20,000 people. You have to come and see what it's like. And I'm like, yeah, I'll come. For sure I'll go. And we picked the perfect game because Oxford United was playing who? Their bitter rivals, Cambridge United. You guys know nothing about it. Oh, you're a bit of nodding there. So anyways, here's the whole crux of the whole story. This is one of my favorite memories of all time. At halftime, one of the Oxford United fans came down to center of the pitch. He brought his girlfriend down and he proposed to her right there in the middle of the pitch at halftime.
Wow.
And the Cambridge United fans started to chant, does she take it? Does she take it? Does she take it up the ass? And I tell you what, I tell you what, even the Oxford United fans were elbowing each other going, that's pretty good, actually. That's not bad. He's a bit of a twit. So that was that. And, when it comes to Bill Cosby, I'll tell you a story about Bill Cosby. Just before the pandemic hit, I was visiting my grandmother. She's this side of 100 and still alive. I'm not as old as I look. Okay? All right? So I was visiting my grandmother because if you go and visit her and it's not a holiday, she'll give you $20. You know what I mean? And I went there one day and you know, it was a Saturday afternoon, and the Catholic priest was over. You know, my grandma, she's a good old Irish Catholic lady. She's still quite involved in the church, right? And we were all sitting there, and then my grandma got up to make the tea, as you know, grandmas do. And the priest, he turned on me. He goes, Daniel, as I understand it, you're a lax Catholic. And I said, no, Father, I'm more like an ex-lax Catholic. I got rid of that shit a long time ago. So he left, right? And it was just me and grandma. And to be honest with you, just at the time, I was just getting into comedy. It seems weird because I'm old, but I was just getting into comedy. And she said to me, she said, "What's new with you?" And I told her about the comedy and how it's going out to shows and, you know, trying to hustle and get to know people and how much I was really, really enjoying it. And honestly, I'd never seen her look so proud. She folded her hands, she leaned back in her chair, and she said, "My grandson will be the next Bill Cosby." I said, now, hey now, Grandma. I said, Grandma, you can't say that. You out of touch old woman. You can't say a thing like that. And she leaned back even further and she said, "You're probably right. A boring fuck like you wouldn't need the pills." Oh! Grandma grew up during the Depression. She's an evil woman. God damn her. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, so that's my bit. I got to admit that Bill Cosby thing, that was my closer for the first couple of years because, you know, he was still in jail then or had the potential of going to jail there. So it was quite good, but nice to bring it back. That was fun. Your thoughts? Anyone want to raise a hand and get into it?
Love the Cosby joke. Love the ex-lax Catholic joke. Love it. And also absolutely love the fact that you're doing like the two different characters, the banter between yourself and your grandma. Like
right, I
really do like it when people can kind of go back and forth and keep somebody fully engaged. Because just the storytelling of that, it actually went too fast for me to write down, so I had to just try to remember the highlights because it was fluid. It was really good. I love it.
I always think that good. Like, I'm obviously not the first comedian to try and have a conversation between two people on stage and express that to an audience. Like, Dave Chappelle is one of my favorite comedians. I think he does that better than anyone. You know, just that and yeah, you gotta play it on stage. But thanks for that, John. That was very good.
Dude, it's really funny you're making the Cosby references, and to this day,
timely.
He did a comedy routine on the Tonight Show, probably around 1987, 1988, back when I was in high school watching the Tonight Show for the comedians before I went to sleep for high school. And he does this routine about having to get trifocals. And you can probably Google it. And it's about a 4 or 5 minute routine that he did on the Tonight Show, completely clean, about him having to get trifocals. And about the fact that when he walked into the doctor's office before he put on the glasses, the door was right there. But he put on the glasses, these trifocals, and suddenly the door was like way down there. And he had to like take giant steps to get like over the curb. And he's looking for a nickel to phone his wife. And it's like the biggest thing he's ever pulled out of his hand. The entire routine is his.
So is it a very physical bit? Because it sounds like with the hands and stuff like that. Yeah. So,
hey, no matter what somebody says about Bill Cosby,
we had a copy of one of his tapes.
That's one of the best routines I've ever seen. Period.
Nice. We had a copy of one of his tapes in the house, and you know, obviously, the Cosby Show was quite huge, but it was weird what happened since then. Anyone else with any thoughts on that before we keep this comedy choo-choo train going? And by thoughts on that, I don't mean Bill Cosby. I mean the wonderful set I've just delivered that has made you entirely jealous of your own abilities. Go on. Anyway.
So I think Bill Cosby. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, don't put us to sleep. Come on.
Right. No. I guess I have more of a question, really. So do you do a lot of those like back and forth things in your comedy? You like
no, but I've always wanted to, and I like the I think like you can draw an audience in if you can if you're having a conversation, people will listen to that, right? Do you know what I mean? Like the idea of comedy. I don't know how this works, but someone said to me just before the pandemic that comedy is psychology. And I was like, up until that point, I was like, wow, I thought he was telling jokes. Like I thought if I just told enough jokes and ran around enough, and it's like psychology. Oh, and like I've always had the idea that dynamics. And I think when like if you're doing that conversational kind of thing and you do it well, you can play with the dynamics of the conversation, like how loud your voice is, and like bring elements like that into it. So, but I'm like anyone else, I'm just trying to ride every day.
Because I mean I feel like the priest, I thought that was a good one. I like the way you described your grandma. You say she folded her hands and she leaned back, like little touches like that. Yeah, I really enjoy that. Now I don't know if you have a more dead on accurate voice for grandma, or if that's exactly how she sounded the way you did it. I don't know. But really my main point here is I enjoyed when you did that. If you have more, I think I would like to see you do that more. Because I know you said you have a lot of dialects or accents, or I don't remember which word you used at the time, but I know you said you had a number of those. So to me, like if you can create more characters, I think you seem to have a talent for that. So I feel like make that work for you as much as you can. And so that's
well, I was born in Ireland but raised in Canada, and I spent 10 years, like from 99 to 2009, living in London. So I've been exposed to the different accents, and more importantly than that, I think I've been exposed to the British humor. Like there used to be some great shows. There's great comedians in England. They're always worth having a look at. I don't know what names to shout out, but Peter Kay, who at the time, in 2009, the sitcoms he was doing, I thought they were just incredible. I was just amazing. Like he did this show called Phoenix Nights. You should look up and watch anything you can find with Phoenix Nights. And obviously there's Monty Python and all that stuff. And yeah, and I'm sure you've heard of guys like Russell Brand, but that's not the humor I'm talking about. Like that's international humor. There was great stuff going on in England, so I always try and bring that to the fore. Thank you for your comments, Clyde.
I enjoyed that, especially the priest and grandma story. I was wondering, what was the priest's first line to you when it was just the two of you?
Oh, because he was a Catholic too, an Irish Catholic. Sorry, Daniel, I understand you're a lax Catholic. So like that's a common term if you grew up Catholic and you're a lax Catholic, right? So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's just funny to me because I'm just wondering what the hell is grandma saying to him about you?
Yeah, well, he knows.
What news around town is making it to the priest?
He doesn't go. He knows I don't go to the church because he doesn't see me there. He's in the public going, "Where's that next generation?" Right? So, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's where you've been, is the bathroom. All right. And I'm just very curious about your grandma. She sounds fascinating. I'm curious what her conversations with the priest are like.
Dude, when I wrote that joke, I can specifically, like my grandmother, God damn it, she's been dead for 10 years. She lived in Belfast, Northern Ireland. When I tell that joke, I can picture the room. I can picture the conversation. The conversation never happened, but I can picture her reaction, and I picture that every time I'm on stage. You know what I mean? Like the joke. The point is the joke comes from somewhere. You know what I mean? Like it's not just a Cosby joke. And one of my favorite things of all time is that I don't know who said this, but the greatest thing about comedy is that everything you've done up until this point is relevant to this job, right? Yeah. Like it's not like, so you were a cashier for 4 years at Walmart. How's that going to help you be a financial advisor? It's all relevant. It's all relevant. So yeah. Cool. And the gang, I would like to thank you all for your kind words. I feel uplifted. I might attempt to call my children tomorrow. I feel anyway. Clyde reacting on behalf of my children there. That was nice of him. Hey, let's keep this giggle train on the move. John is back from his frequent disappearances and ready to tell us what's on his mind. Let's have it, John. Let's go.
Beer.
Woo. Oh, beer. Good.
Well, I can't really wait for things to get back to normal. They're getting back to normal, but I can't wait for them to get back to normal. Because like the last year and a half is really acted like the reservoir tip of a dollar store condom. Like really, if this pandemic were to have a safe word, it would have been more. Like at the beginning, I actually knew people that stopped using rolled bills to do blow wet, for health reasons. And like right at the start, like in Canada, they initially closed all the churches as a way to help to stop the spread of the virus. I thought it would also help stop the spread of COVID-19 as well. Like I love that joke because I was raised in a non-religious household by a successful single mom in the 70s. Because the last thing we needed was another absentee father. Like I am looking forward to everything opening up and getting back to somewhat normal, but I have to say I am pro-mask only because I've never had dental. But does anyone else here think that maybe, just maybe, we should have let the virus run its course? Because you got to hear me out. Only 5% of the deaths were for people under the age of 45. 75% were people over the age of 65. Now, I don't mean to sound like an asshole here, but I'm a 49-year-old renter. Kind of looking for a buyer's market. And like throughout Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, there are so many people doing all these different positive affirmations. They had all these big things of words of wisdom to say. But the thing I really notice is that I don't know who talks more about their lifestyle, vegans or CrossFit. Like, don't you wish that vegans and CrossFit had the same rules as Fight Club? Do you know what would really suck? An ex-smoker who is a vegan that does CrossFit. That would be like the holy trinity of someone that just won't shut the fuck up. So I haven't had a cigarette since December 27th.
Well done, buddy. Well done.
But I don't think I've become one of those douchey non-smokers because I loved to smoke. Like when I'm stressed out and I smell a cigarette, they still smell like they were grown in the Garden of Eden and like rolled in a dream, sealed with the tears of my enemies. Yeah, but I don't miss it. Like I actually smoked for 35 years.
Go on, Johnny.
Yeah, and I can tell you that I smell better, my hands are cleaner, and my dick works better. My girlfriend even said that he performs better, and I was thinking, nice. Now I'm going to fuck you like we're in our 20s. But my body says, keep dreaming, dude, because you have a back of somebody that's in their 50s. It's like a penal reality check. But I guess he's getting like more oxygen, and it's almost like a natural Cialis. And I'm like wondering, where is that anti-nicotine ad? Stop smoking. Fuck better. Like, get it up without assistance. Stop smoking. Fuck better. It just makes me think, have you ever noticed that Viagra comes in boxes to help men? Come in boxes. Like, I've never actually tried Viagra, but I've thought about it. I'm a bit of a restless sleeper, and I thought it'd help me like stop from rolling over. But like over the past 6 months of not smoking and my girlfriend being a great cook, I've gone from like being able to see my ribs to being a guy that looks like he really likes ribs. Because like I've gained almost 30 pounds. And I'm starting to wish that I was a breast guy because I'm working on a set of serious B cups, and I can't take advantage of these. Like, fuck. I walked past the mirror the other day naked, and I thought, oh my God, I've really got to go to the gym. I decided to get rid of the mirror instead because that's a whole lot easier. Lost commitment.
Right.
But my girlfriend and I, we've been together for over a year, and I'm surprised I ever get laid with a voice like this. Because this is not the sound of romance. If anything, this is the sound of CBC radio. Like, could you ever imagine hearing dirty talk from a voice like this? Like, did you like that? How does that make you feel? It's okay to cry. It's amazing that I ever got laid because, like, I made comment earlier in the night that I'd been married twice. And what I didn't tell you was that being married at a really early age is an incredible learning experience because this taught me that I have never been into period sex. Period sex. Just the thought of it kind of wigs me out. Because in all honesty, I have always sucked at accents, and those costumes, I can't afford them. That's my time.
All right then. Yes, thank you. Didn't mean to rush you. Hey, so at the beginning, when I was, before the alcohol completely and utterly kicked in, you were talking about the changes you were making, with the health and the cocaine, right? And I thought you could make it more personal and like just say like, we did everything we could. Like we started using our own straws and stuff like that, as opposed to the way you worded it, which just made it more kind of like more nebulous as opposed to personal.
There's a reason why Coke addicts steal McDonald's straws. They're still the only ones that use plastic straws.
Yeah. Yeah. They have yellow and white stripes. Like, come on. I know. So I love that pro mask joke too. I like that as well. Like you're pro mask because of the dental. And yeah. Anyone else?
So I was very intrigued. As soon as you said it, I was kind of hoping you went this way. You went the way that I wanted you to go, just not in the way that I was thinking for you to go. You went in a different way, which that's good. We were talking about the period sex. I said yes, exactly. That is what I want to hear about. I want to hear about period sex, and then it's like, yeah, you don't like the costumes and getting those accents right, because if you're gonna do it, it's gonna be authentic, right? No replicas. It's like all original materials. Don't even and then of course you could reference period porn or period movies, or I don't know, anything like that. Just it's extra thoughts that I had on that. But yeah, period sex.
I thought you were going that with period sex too. Those are good. Yeah, that's a good angle.
Civil War is always a bloody mess. I'm sorry.
I actually said the joke wrong at the very end because I always say those costumes, I can't afford them. They're bloody expensive. That's how you usually end it. But
yeah, that's good.
Nice.
That's a nice button. Like that could be a good like actual closer if you're on stage. And you just put the mic back in the hook and walk off, or throw it into the crowd depending on how you talk, depending how punk rock you were. EJ, anything else to say? Sorry, Clyde.
I just want to say I love the church stuff, the virus line, the absentee father line. Solid. What were the set of benefits that you read off for stopping smoking? Like your
cleaner hands, I smell better, my dick works better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You said you smell better, your hands are cleaner, your dick works better. Okay, so your hands were cleaner.
Nice.
But I
That's
only
the good
know
life
that because
callback.
I got my hands dirty again.
My hands are cleaner. I smell better. My dick works better. My hands work cleaner.
Good.
That's actually good.
That's
Yeah.
pretty good. Yeah, that's a good one.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, I forgot about the quit smoking. Congratulations on that, John. I quit after 32 years on January 6th.
What's funny is I did one of these comedy workshops on December 27th,
Yeah.
and I ran out of smokes like
Yeah.
at the end of the shop. And the next day I was like on Christmas holiday, like New Year's holiday type of thing. And I was kind of thinking, okay, let's just see how long I'll go tomorrow without buying another pack.
Right.
And my girlfriend's a non-smoker, and we were together all day, and one thing led to another, and just
And you didn't slap her once, so you thought it was possible, right?
Sex is way better than smoking.
Oh, I'll tell you what, the thing about quitting smoking is it does turn you like you're the asshole. You in every situation, you're the ill-tempered asshole. But we've not come here to talk about
one minor comment real quick. I didn't know what CBC radio is.
Canadian Broadcasting.
For some reason in my head I was thinking like ham radio, but it's like an NPR type thing.
Yeah, consider it the Canadian version of the BBC. You know, the British Broadcasting Corporation over in England.
Okay, if I hear BBC and you've already been talking about sex, I'm going to go somewhere else.
No,
NPR for
yeah.
American.
I love the idea that like
I should have said BBC. I've got the teeth for it.
Yeah, but the British Broadcasting
Wait,
Corporation.
are we talking about the same BBC?
Which is no, we're not.
You got the lack of teeth for it, I think.
I love the idea that it's somewhere over the
We're
last
talking about radio,
years,
not Big Black Hawk.
someone at the venerable British Broadcasting Corporation has had to say to top management, "We have a Google problem." Right.
Real quick. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I apologize. We keep interrupting you, Dan. I apologize for
No.
one thing I want to say, okay, because I am not a smoker. I've never smoked. So no applause necessary. But my point is, with smokers, what I've noticed, what it seems to me, people who smokers are they have one of the greatest like communities that I've seen, because anybody who smokes, if there's anybody around you who doesn't have a smoke, they can ask for a smoke and they'll get one.
No.
So somehow, like, I was thinking that, you stop smoking, sex is better, but your social life isn't as good.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Something like that.
I quit during a pandemic, so I didn't have a social life anyway.
It's good. Yeah, like you say to them, no, I don't have, and you don't have a chance. They're so upset with you that you've broken the bonds of the community. You don't get a chance to say, I've quit, which would have pushed it over the edge. Anyways, cheers for your contribution, John, and congratulations. I quit January 6th because I figured if they're storming the Capitol building, it's time I should start ordering cigarettes. And as we all know, you can't get high on your own supply. Ladies and gentlemen, here to tell us exactly what he's thinking at this very moment and what he's working on as well, our good friend Clyde. Turn it over to Clyde, everyone.
All right. Well, real quick, what I'm going to do, I'm going to tell you that joke that I said I would tell you earlier.
Yeah.
So for not for you, Dan, this is for everyone else. Okay. So do you know the difference between Irish and Scottish? You see, this is Irish. This is Scottish. That's the difference. That's it. By the Father. Now, one thing I know, you got to understand. I don't believe there will be any Irish Muslims, because when you're Muslim, when you die, you get 70 virgins. 70 virgins. But in Irish heaven, there's no such thing as a bloody virgin. Anyway, I was told that joke is offensive to like two different groups of people. So I was told. I don't know. It's funny to me, so I like it. Let's see. It's I'm getting older, and I know I'm getting older because my friends are getting old, and I can see how old they're getting by looking at them. So I can imagine how old I'm getting. But I got friends that they know they're getting older, but they just don't acknowledge exactly how old they're getting. It's like, man, no, man, I'm still young at heart. Like I feel like I'm 18. Okay. Well, hey, I tell you what, maybe your heart is 18, but your arteries though, yeah, your arteries look like they died for our freedom. That's what I imagine your arteries are doing. I don't do Pilates. I can only do one Pilates. Um, I don't know if anyone here believes in speaking things into existence. I don't know. Um, I'm not really sure if I believe in it. I'm kind of on the fence, but my girlfriend, she believes it. And, my girlfriend, she's like one of the nicest, most amazing people I've ever met before. She is just too fantastic. I don't deserve her. So I decided that I'm going to get a gift for her. It's going to get her a spa day for her and her best friend, who she hardly ever sees, talks to all the time. So I'm coming home, getting ready to surprise her. But before I can even open the door, she opens the door up and she shoves her phone in my face and she says, "You lied to me. You lied to me. You told me that you were not married. I can't believe it. You lied to me. You're cheating on me." And I looked at the phone as a picture of me and my wife. And it was taken by her friend that she never sees but always talks to. I was like, hold up. First of all, lady, I did not lie to you. When I said that I wasn't married, I was speaking it into existence. Okay? That's the first thing. Second thing, I was not cheating on you. I was cheating with you. Two different things, completely different things. Let me see. There are people I can't stand. Let me tell you a little about that. So there are people I can't stand. I don't know if y'all know this. Y'all know these people who try to convince you of how good they are at something by how old they were when they first started doing it. I can't stand it because it's like I was stuck on the side of the road. My car stopped. This guy, he came by and he tried to assist me. And I appreciate the fact he tried to assist me. But at a certain point, it kind of seemed like he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. Okay. And so what I say to him, I say, "Sir, whilst I am appreciative of your sincerest efforts to assist me with getting on my merry way, do you know what the fuck you're doing?" And he says to me, he's like, "Oh man, don't worry about it. I've been working on cars since I was 17. That doesn't tell me anything. Like that doesn't help me at all. Like my girl's been fucking since she was 12. She still just lays there. That doesn't help me at all. These people. Who else I can't stand? I cannot stand these people who like to try to keep people alive who've been dead for decades that they never even knew. Like in February, it's this guy, I saw a post on Facebook. This guy said, "I want to say happy birthday to Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln was my favorite president that we've had so far. I miss him. He'd be 222 years old today. Happy birthday." No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't be 222 years old today because he'd have died 132 years ago from being 90 in the 1800s. Come on, dude, what are you smoking? This is ridiculous. Now, I can understand if it was your grandma because you didn't even know the president. You didn't even know him, but your grandma, and she was like, "Oh, well, happy birthday, grandma. She died 5 years ago. She'd be 75 today. Rest in heaven. I miss you, grandma." Like, that makes sense because that 75 is a reasonable life expectancy for a female human, right? But where does it stop? Why you're gonna say, "Hey, yeah, I want to go ahead and give a birthday shout out to my main man's Stegosaurus. He'd be 333 million years old today, son. Rest in power, King." Like, shut up, people. Like, stop it. Stop. And I don't want to just go off of people I can't. There are people that I can stand that I do. It's like, does anybody here like to cook? Round of applause, show hands. Okay. Yeah, okay, one person. I can't stand motherfuckers that like to cook. I hate y'all because with y'all, everything is an ingredient. Everything. Y'all will say stuff like, "Oh, you see that cookie right there? Well, I could take that cookie. I could turn that into something good." It's a cookie. It's already. What are you talking about? What are you going to turn it into? Some pussy? Like, I can go for some of that right now, sure. But this is why we got these crazy, ridiculous recipes like asparagus cookie casserole. Like, that's just dumb. That's stupid. And they always got like a secret ingredient. It's like, "Oh, Clyde, we put my marmalade sauce on your foot and eat your diabetes." Like, what? who even told you I had diabetes? Where's this coming from? I don't understand. And then people who like to cook, they want to tell you everything about the food that they made. They want to they just want to tell you, oh well, I got the recipe from my grandfather from the time he was stationed in Italy. It's like, I don't give a dang. I don't care. Like, is the food good? Like, that's what I care about. Put it in my mouth. Tell me the story of how the food got from the plate to my mouth. They want to tell you, we massaged the meat for 40 years. What? I don't want no 40-year-old meat. My wife didn't want my 40-year-old meat. She traded me in for 2 20-year-old sausages. Like, that's ridiculous. They just want to tell you everything about the food. They want to tell you blood type. Oh, I'm O negative. I'm a universal donor. Like, whatever. They want to tell you the love language. Oh, my language is gift giving, gifts of service. Like, no. Like, they want to tell you the preferred method of birth control. Oh, I pull out. I don't care. It's none of my business. That's just telling all that stuff. That's just like if you're at a woman's house, you're on a date, and everything's going good. You're at her place and it's going great. And all of a sudden she pulls out the nana. There's the nana. It's right there for you. And it looks really good. And you're about to get the nana. Oh, you're ready for the nana. And then right before you get the nana, like, her mom pops out and it's like, well, the reason why my daughter's nana is so good, Father John blessed me when I was pregnant. It's like, I don't care about don't tell me about the nana. Just put it in my mouth, please. That's all I want. Anyway, that's all I got. Thank you.
Hey, Clyde, everybody, Clyde. Amazing energy. I think it's really great that your ma still keeps your trophies on that cabinet over on the left there. That's amazing. That's really good. I
earned every single one of those.
Yeah, I need like the explaining to your girlfriend why you cheated on her. It needs more, like a great button after that with you, like something more. Like, where does that conversation go? You know what I mean? Like, once you've explained to her that she's incorrect, I don't know. But yeah, love it. Love the energy as well. Yeah. Anyone else?
I got a few things. I wrote down that you have that buddy that's always kind of reverting back to how he feels and not how old he is. And he feels like he's 18. And I'm thinking, yeah, but you also smell like you're 18 in dog years. Then people that say that they've been doing whatever talent for X amount of years just shows me that they have like no natural talent in whatever the heck they're trying to help you with. Then happy birthday to the Big Bang, 13.7 years and still going strong. As we're reverting back on shit. I'm just writing down what I wrote down. I've got no idea what the hell I was actually thinking when I wrote it down.
Right.
No, I also have
at least
guys
you can read your handwriting, John.
I also have guys that know how to cook use it as a distraction because they won't eat pussy. Eat this because I won't eat you. And I also have the pull-out method is like the weakest game of birth controls, more or less like in out, repeat if necessary. That's how my first wife got pregnant.
Yeah, it's the deal or no deal, if that reference is still relevant. The deal or no deal of birth control.
Yeah.
EJ, give it to us straight. What did you think?
Also love the energy. I love the general character you have of just complaining about these things that are pretty. I love that they're all regular, mundane things, and you feel so strongly about them.
I do.
Yeah, it shows, and it's great. Yeah, keep it up. I love I just love the premise that just because you started something young doesn't mean you're good at it. That's great. Not sure I want the example that makes me think of a 12-year-old having sex, but I think it's a good point. Like, if you started,
I kind of heard you pull back.
Doesn't mean you. Did I make a sound? Did I make myself clear? I think. It doesn't mean you're good. It could just mean that you've been bad at it longer. what was the other premise you had? Oh yeah, the so and so would have been this old. I think for that, start with the example that is common and makes sense, and just how sweet that is. Yes, okay, grandma would have been 75 if she hadn't died 5 years ago. That's great. It only works if the person could plausibly still be alive. I love the Stegosaurus example. So funny. Because I didn't see Stegosaurus coming, but it's a nice extreme example. People telling stories about the food they made. I don't know. Maybe that's why it tastes so good. You're just relieved the story's over, or they're. It's so long. Yeah, they're. I don't know. They're making you hungry or something.
That's it.
That's all I wrote down.
What about like you've got a really good friend, and all of a sudden he gets a girlfriend, and all of a sudden he's a foodie. You know what I mean? Like he's inviting you over to dinner parties and stuff like that. It's like, didn't we? I don't know. You can think of whatever example you used to do with a buddy before the cooking affection came along.
So I have no friends, and no one that I even hang out with would ever have a girlfriend or a place to serve me food. So I'll have to really use.
It's not going to work with your personality. Yeah, I think there's a hole in your logic there. You said that you have no friends, but you know people. Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to do an inventory of everyone who knows you, but I'm sure you've got a couple friends, Clyde. You seem like the kind of guy who would have a couple friends.
I am friendly with no friends.
He's not in those weird social circles where food happens.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like there's a clothing line that could come out of this. Clyde wear something like that. I have no friends, but I'm friendly, or I don't know. I can't.
Clyde or die.
I can't. Clyde or die. See, Clyde's in. Now all he needs is the bank loan from the bank. Anyway,
sounds like an early '90s Calvin Klein commercial.
All right, so I should have been in bed 2 hours ago. I'm on the Eastern Coast time, and tomorrow is a Friday, which means I have to fake it at work for an entire 8 hours. It's really gonna suck. Okay, so let's get on with our headliner tonight, and let's get us some headliner energy. Bang against your keyboards. Get your hands together. Here to bring us home. It's Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, all right. Wow. Love it. Great. All right. So I am Filipino. I was born here, but a lot of my family wasn't. I have this cousin who immigrated here as an adult, and he is still posting to this day that we need to punish the Chinese for COVID. I'm like, all right, easy, pal. Yeah, punish the Chinese. Yeah, to everyone here, that's us. Those lunatics randomly attacking Asians in the street. Yeah, not great with geography. All right, this guy's online provoking people to punish the Chinese. That's going to make for a weird conversation with the cops. They're just going to be like, okay, fellas, why? Why did you attack this poor man? They're like, what? He told us to. I do like the idea of my ethnicity. I do like the idea of my ethnicity as a defense, though. Like some Asian people I've seen, they're giving each other weapons for self-protection. I just want to get in line and be like, oh, no thanks. I'm good. Yeah, I'm Filipino. Yeah, no knife for me, but I will take a map. Some people are like, hey, if I get attacked, I hope he's not big. I hope he likes to learn. May was AAPI month, which if you're not familiar with this is a month for Asians of all types to get together and celebrate our heritage. But our real heritage is hating other Asians. Yeah, you think Asian hate is bad here? You should go to Asia. This is how much Filipinos hate Asian people. My cousin, he's posted this Chinese hate I mentioned. As a result, Filipinos are getting assaulted. All right, those are connected. My cousin, he knows, doesn't care. I'm like, dude, you got to stop. You're stoking Asian hate. He's like, yeah, but I don't like Chinese people. I'm like, have you seen the news? They're attacking Filipinos. He's like, well, they shouldn't have looked Chinese. They're
just ridiculous.
there is a very supportive Asian American community here, which I am grateful for. But it's strange, okay? Because there are 48 countries in Asia. I don't know if you realize this. 48 countries. They're all completely different. Okay, no one comes here identifying as Asian. My family came from the Philippines. I was born here. I grew up like, hi, I'm Filipino. And people who were here were like, hey, an Asian. They'd introduce me to other Asians. On the SATs, I marked myself Asian. Hey, Crazy Rich Asians was a movie about Chinese people. But yeah, huge step forward for all you Asians. Like, okay, fine. Jesus Christ, I'm Asian. But people don't get it. In high school, my close friend group, it included a Vietnamese kid, a Korean kid, and a Chinese kid. I know people looked at us like we were basically family. I also saw them as foreigners. All right. I'd go to their houses. Their food was weird to me too. They smelled funny. I didn't understand any of their grandmas. All right. The only reason the Asian American community exists is because the rest of you can't tell us apart. I've had so many people ask me to explain K-pop and mukbangs and feng shui as if I'm not also Googling those things. They're like, oh, do people listen to BTS where you come from? Yes, the internet. People expecting to know all things Asian. I should turn that right around. Hey, Jeff, you're a white guy. What's the deal with that trend you all love? Oh, yeah, genocide.
Oh.
Hey-o. All right, the Cheesecake Factory has an Asian chicken salad. Asian chicken salad. What kind of Asian? You can't name a dish after an entire race of people. That would be like if a restaurant served white people soup. You understand? All right. Well, I overheard this from a man at Starbucks. He said, this is 100% true, verbatim. You ordered chai? What are we, in a karate dojo?
Wow.
All right, look, chai is Indian. Karate is Japanese. India and Japan could not be more different. They're 4,000 miles apart. All right. That's like equating Europe and the US. That's like, oh, you're eating escargot. What is this, the 4th of July? This guy's wearing clogs. Didn't realize we were dressing for NASCAR. Tea and crumpets. This guy thinks he's at a rodeo. All right, that's all I got to work on. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. And what a headliner he was. Great job, EJ. Anyone?
I just love the fact that you're bringing up the difference of Asia because, well, Russia's the world's largest country, and 90% of it is in Asia. And when you think of Asia, you don't think of like a bunch of white people drinking vodka and having borscht.
That's right.
Because usually you're usually taught that Asia is like just the Pacific Rim. So when you're talking Asian, for whatever reason, like being brought up with North American schooling, you're usually thinking about just the Pacific Rim. You negate all of India, you negate all of like the Middle East, which is Asia. You negate all of Russia. So you're
when people say Asians, they're mostly talking about Chinese people. Let's be
you're forgetting
I love that John has used his time to reclaim Asia for the whites. I think that's great.
White power.
Yeah. I remembered I was going to say I love the story. Like looking at you as a good, I was born here for fuck's sakes. You know what I mean? Like I was born here. This is my country, and your family, because you're a good kid, right? And you'll do anything your family wants for you. They send you a fully grown 27-year-old, right, from the mother country. He doesn't know anything that's going on here. Maybe he's a bit gangster. I I love that. I feel that there's a movie in the works there. You know, you know what I mean? Like maybe the reason they send him is because he's fallen into a bad element, and he can kick a little ass. You know what I mean? He can drop a motherfucker, and he's always on the pull. He's always trying to get the girls. I think there's a whole entire movie there, but I just love that concept there because you're established in the country, right? And they just send some guy over. If you go like he's a total drag on you. I also like the idea of like when you're in high school, like nobody knows the difference between Asian people. It's stupid. It's extremely ignorant, but you could use it as like leverage. You're like, yeah, I've been to that Chinese guy's house. You know what I mean? You're not going to believe the crazy shit those guys are into. White guy just like me. You know, can I just be cool in high school or something like that? I don't know. But yeah, good fun. Enjoyed that.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. I mean, really, just I'm looking at my notes here, and it's just like he told us to. That's hilarious. That whole AAPI thing. That whole thing is so funny. He, what did you say? Was it your cousin or your brother that said this? Therefore, they shouldn't have looked Chinese. Who is that said that?
Oh yeah, my cousin. Yep.
Your cousin. That is so funny. It was like the rest of you can't tell us apart. That's funny. So really, I mean, like, other than just loving like what you did, the only like kind of thing I was looking for when you're talking about the salad, the Asian salad, you said what kind of Asian? I just want you. I would like to know, like, your perspective on what difference it makes. Like if it's is it Japanese salad, because if it's Japanese salad, can't do this because of this. If it's Chinese salad, can't do this because of this. Like we can't have, like, these people aren't going to want this salad for these reasons. Like I would just like to hear that. And that's really the only thing I can say about everything you did, man. I thoroughly dug it. So yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, great.
A friend of mine was teaching English as a second language in China for years, and a few years ago he came back. When he came back to Canada for like the year that he was here, he made a comment that, holy fuck, you know who hates the Chinese more than the Chinese? The Chinese. There's so many different types of Chinese, and they hate each other.
So
like
true.
He's going through the entire
but that goes on everywhere. I'm from Hamilton, Ontario. I absolutely despise people from Toronto, Ontario. And Brantford, Ontario, Caledonia, Ontario. There's an entire list.
Oh yeah, those guys are the worst.
That's the thing. They're not me. It's the fear of other that really gets me. But anyways, gentlemen, does anybody have any closing comments? We're gonna go around one more time. And I want to thank you all for participating. I would like to apologize for the people in the comment board, but I was holding on by a very thin thread tonight, and I think it showed. So, John, where can we find you? Where can we see you in the upcoming months?
Well, if you're on the west coast of Canada, you can see me over Vancouver Island and then Vancouver, possibly into Alberta as well.
Nice.
Because I'm going to be doing a few things. I can be found at Comedy Tate or Tate Comedy, depending on if you're on Instagram or if you're on Twitter. Yeah. And if you check out John Tate Comedy on Facebook, you'll see what shows I will be having planned. Second that I actually have gigs that are actually able to start going again, because everybody here is still being ultra paranoid as it pertains to COVID. So.
That's it. That's it. At the real Clyde Williams. Clyde, where can we find you? Where can we find you in person and on the socials?
In person, you can find me tomorrow. I'm doing a show in Dallas at Snooki's.
Nice.
That's going to be at 8 p.m.
Nice.
So check me out there. And then you can usually find me on Rampantly. I do online Zoom shows throughout the week where I can. And if you're in Shreveport, you should be able to see me at the Missing Link at 9 p.m. on 31st. So come through there. And outside of that, you can find me at The Real Clyde Williams on Instagram.
Nice one. Nice one. We'll talk about Louisiana another time. That'd be a lot of fun. EJ, give me the good news. Where can I find you performing in person and on the socials?
Cool. Yeah. So I am in North Carolina, always doing shows around here. All of next week, I'll be in Atlanta doing shows every night.
Nice.
Yeah, very excited about that. Good scene down there, as far as I can tell. And online, yeah, Ijamasi Campo is my handle. I'm mostly on Twitter and Instagram and Facebook. So yeah, give me a follow. I'll follow back.
Lovely. I look forward to looking you all up on the old the Twitter and Facebook. I am, of course, your incoherent host for the evening, Dan Brennan. You can find me on Facebook, Dan Brennan, and this head, and on Twitter you can find me at Dan Brennan Live, and on Instagram you can find me at Comedy Things Dan Brennan. And by this point you don't know the spelling. I have no hope for you. I don't want you as a fan, guys. Thanks for participating tonight. A big round of applause to all of you. I'm going to end the broadcast now. Tune in tomorrow night, episode 403, to anyone who might happen to be listening. Cheers, guys. That was a lot of fun.
Thank you. Yeah, this is great.